I had had a lot of violence. Houses burned, cars shot into, like the lowest that you can think of in terms of violence.
You had blood in your mouth
Yeah.
when you were singing.
It was the first time I experienced it when I had a nose problem, and I didn't know. I'd never had a broken nose before. It was cracked there or something, and
From one of
course,
the beatings.
Yeah, this was one before a show and one of those things in the dressing room. As far as I can remember now, I had put everything on hold because it was just an existence of children being involved, debts. Where is it to go? You know, nowhere to run, nowhere to hide.
You were married to Ike for many years, and of course, there were bad things associated with that relationship.
Why did you stay?
Ike was very good to me when I first started my career. I was in high school and started to sing weekends with him, and we were really close friends. We had a very fun life in some kind of way. Ike wanted very much to be a star, but he was too shy to really sing the style of what he wanted. And in some kind of way, because I'm very loyal and because he was as good to me as he was, I promised him that I wouldn't leave him like some of the other people that he had written songs for, and then when the song was a hit, they left. This was a basic story that was a story of his life.
He was cruel because he depended on me. He didn't like that he had to depend on me. And I didn't want to start a fight because it was always a black eye, a broken nose, a busted lip, a rib.
Well, the first 7 years, I realized that I wasn't appreciated, no matter that I was staying because I was paying a debt of being loyal or whatever. It was just, it was getting worse. And I realized that I also wasn't really helping by staying there and going through all that I was going through. So I started to plan. So it actually, 14 years in is when I was very close to making the decision. And so it was actually 16 years that I stayed with him, so it took a good 3 years to make up my mind.
Was it an escape?
Yes.
Now, how hard was it to get out of that abusive and dangerous relationship?
Well, it was very difficult and dangerous because Ike was a violent person, and at that point he was on drugs, very insecure, and I had no money, I had no place to go, but I just took a chance. I said the way out is through the door. And while he was on one of his sleeping times, I just left the hotel, went out the kitchenway and down to the freeway, actually. And I remember something that during that time, I didn't measure the speed of a car, and I was running across the freeway, and this big truck was coming, and it went rah, rah, and it felt like it was over me. And I thought, well, I won't try that again. But I had to cross that freeway to actually get to the hotel across from where we were working.
So you took your life in your hands just to get away
Yes,
from there?
yes.
Right there. Because when you were with him, he kept all the money from the act, didn't he? He kept all the money and
He kept everything. He always said, when you leave, you leave like you came. Right?
And why was it at that stage? What was it that happened then? Why was it you decided now I can take no more? Had something specific happened, or was it just the build-up over the years?
It was just time to not take any more. It was constantly abusive, other things going on. There was no control, there was no freedom. It was just the sameness, and the violence. And you just get fed up and you say, life is not worth living if I'm gonna stay in this situation. And I stayed there as long as I did because I was trying to help him from the beginning when he told me about his life and how hard it was for him to get a career going. And I promised him that I would never leave him. And I actually stayed because of that promise. But then it got to the point where it became really bad, really bad. So it's time to go. I felt that I've had enough, just enough. Now it's time to go out the door. I had nothing. I had absolutely nothing. 36 cents, that was all.
So here you are, you have to start over. You've had this career of Ike and Tina, and now you are Tina Turner. Are you thinking that you're going to be a success as Tina Turner at the age of close to 40?
I didn't think about the singing at all. First of all, I was thinking about where I was going to lay my head, so to speak.
Yeah.
Then I was just enjoying the freedom of not being in that environment.
And I had to teach myself because I didn't have the freedom to actually go to meetings or for people to come to me. So I remember working really hard, and I'm happy that I did it that way because it was on my own that I really struggled for it, and it changed my life.
My advice is make up your mind and don't go back and deal with whatever you have to deal with to finish it, which is what I did. I was prepared to go through whatever I had to go through with Ike Turner, even if it was death, because I would never go back.
And I said, it's over. I really felt like it's over, and I'm glad it's over.
When in 1986, Turner meets a young German record executive, Erwin Bach. She was 46, he was 30. There's a great story in the book. You all are at a dinner, and it's a very cheeky move on your part. Go ahead, share it, Tina. What did you say?
So I said to Urban, when you get to California, I want you to make love to me. Because I did.
But Tina, who says that to somebody?
You say it if you feel it. No, you're not going to get it otherwise.
Yes.
But that's what I wanted.
Is it very wonderful to be in a nice relationship?
It's wonderful
as
to be
opposed to what you had.
Yes, it was the first actually man I've lived with after my separation. I mean, it was, and it's a very good relationship. You see, it wasn't something that I planned. I kind of see it as a gift because of the life I lived. It had a meaning. And I think that the meaning was all of what is happening now. I think that if I had not given the story to the world, maybe my life would not be as it is. I believe.
Fine.
So
Is there anything you want now in life as you sit here, Tina Turner, that you don't have?
No, I have everything. When I sit at the Lake Zurich in the house that I have, I am so serene.
Wow.
No problems. I had a very hard life that I didn't put blame on anything or anyone. I got through it. I lived through it with no blame,
Here's to you.
and I'm a happy person.
Here's to you. You earned it.